What's on Your Mind is sponsored by ACMC 339 Road, New Style Radio 98.7 FM, Breakthrough Studios, and Reggae Jam.
Is the COVID-19 pandemic affecting your business or your livelihood? Or are you struggling to pay your pending and current bills? Then you must listen very carefully. Premium advertising will expose your business to thousands of people instantly by using both digital and terrestrial radio and a wide range of social media platforms to get your business out there and start making money. It is that simple, so don't delay. Contact us to advertise your business on New Style Radio 98.7 FM, www.newstyleradio.co.uk, and all multiple social media platforms. A highly trained digital marketing team will create a bespoke digital marketing strategy tailored to get your business up and running and making money in no time. Don't delay, call us today. Our team is standing by. 07584197380. WhatsApp us on 07872443765 or email us at newstyleradio@yahoo.com. Good afternoon. How you doing? Welcome to another program in the series of What's on Your Mind. I am Carl. The program is produced by breakthroughtv@gmail.com. Let me say thank you for tuning in to the program once again. It is a live program. We're back at home this week in the studio right here. We was on the road last week for a special broadcast of What's on Your Mind, which was the Birmingham Commonwealth Games and also celebrating the Windrush Generation. Absolutely marvelous that was. Met quite a lot of different people. We was down there at the Legacy Center of Excellence. As I said, we met quite a lot of people, chat to a lot of different people, you know what I mean, from all walks of life. It was a marvelous occasion. Let me say thank you guys for all you guys who allowed us to have an interview. Massive respect. And big shout out to those at the Legacy Center of Excellence. Big shout out to you guys. I know you got a lot of things coming up, so all I can say, you guys, viewers who's tuning into the program, check out the Legacy. The Legacy is in Birmingham, and it's on 339 Potters Lane. So check it out. They've got a lot of things coming up there. They're also going to be celebrating Jamaica independence and whole lot of things going on. There are arts there. There's quite a few different dances there and quite a few different shows, you know what I mean? So check it out and see what you think, and just go and say, check it out. Yeah. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the program, yeah? And as I said, this is a live stream. So if you see, boop, or that, I am directly here in the studio. Or if you see I go for my eyes, sometimes my eyes get very watery. Don't worry about it, because I got nobody touching me up in here. So, anyway, as I say, quite a few things been happening across the world. And I gotta say, the G7, yes, it's been the G7 meeting up. And that they have their, I know the G7 have their thing every year. Now, the G7s are Germany, France, Italy, United Kingdom, Great Britain, USA, and Japan. Now, there's only 7 of them in the G7. That's what it says. However, let me throw it out there. Why is only 7 countries in the G7? Why is that? And these 7 countries actually got 50% of the world's wealth. Yeah. And they have global power across the world. Yes. And it makes you wonder that there's no African countries in it. Russia is not there. Eastern black countries are not there. And all that sort of that sort of people is not there. And I don't say Saudi Arabia is not there. If you go really east, it used to be remember it used to be the G8 with Russia. But as I say, it breaks down to G7. But the point is, I want to think, how come so? There's only like 7 countries in it. And more of the world is out there. There are other countries in the world out there that are not in it. So that is a very, very strange and interesting one. I have heard many years ago, people comment about it, you know what I mean? So what do you think? Do you think there should be more countries in the G7, which was the G8? Yeah? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Now, let me move on. In Birmingham, a woman body was found and the man pulled out of a house in Birmingham, King's Standing. A massive explosion. And basically, the investigators has been in, and they actually said the gas explosion wasn't caused by a gas or the pipes. And a different agency has actually come in to actually investigate what actually causes that. And as I said, there was a big explosion. A lot of people has to be evacuated, and it's actually not too far from this studio, a couple of miles from this studio. You know what I mean? A lot of people have to be evacuated, and that sort of thing. And I say the investigation is still going on. And we say condolence to the wonderful lady who lost her life. You know what I mean? And her neighbors and said she was actually a fantastic lady, a very, very nice person. You know what I mean? And when something like that happens, you just think, oh my days, man, what can you say? You know what I mean? And we still wait to hear what caused the explosion, and we'll give you an update when we're probably back again, when we see what the investigation has said about that. And it says what we want to say as well, big condolence to the family that was involved with that. Yeah. Now let me move on. Now, my next story is now a 14-year-old African heritage boy. He was grounded by the Met Police, and he was only a schoolboy. They said it was a case of mistaken identity. Deshaun Joseph, 14, thought he was going to die. He says thought he was going to die. He's actually from South London. And footage has actually shown where the police actually putting his hand behind him, force him down into the ground, and keeping one police actually kneels on him. You know what I mean? And his mother has says she thought he was going to be the next George Floyd. And as I say, the police hasn't sort of said, you know what I mean, they this was an accident or it wasn't something. They say they was investigating, and they actually had to do that. That was that sort of feedback that actually comes from the police officers, you know what I mean, comes from the Met. And it's another one of those ones, you know, which you think, kind of say, you know what I mean, we only say it's glad he is still with us, you know what I mean, and I say what his family was really worried about, he was going to be the next George Floyd, yeah? You just don't know. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the program. Now, at least 22 young people been found dead in a South African nightclub. And it happens in what you call East London, which is actually a place in South Africa. It is unclear what actually caused the death of these young people. And they was actually celebrating the end of the winter school exam. And again, we want to say big condolence to those families. You know, when you see young people, you know, get caught up in tragedies like that or lose their life like that, you can't sort of comprehend it, you know what I mean? And they say they was actually celebrating the end of winter school examination, and they got to have a really very nice time, you know what I mean? And then you see this sort of thing actually happens, you know what I mean? And they say, once again, big condolence to the family of those wonderful young people who lost their life. And this investigation there is actually still going on, yeah? Now, my next story takes me to Jamaica. Now, a mother and 4 of her children was murdered in Jamaica. Parish of Clarendon. Know parts of Clarendon very well. Now, this is actually gruesome. The government of Jamaica has said it's gruesome. It's terrible. Miss Wright and her 4 children, one was 15, one was 10, one was 5, and a 23-month-old baby. Now, a 23-year-old man was charged on Friday And a lot of people is talking about this in Jamaica. Some are talking about death penalty. You know what I mean? Some say this character is probably sick. Well, he's more than sick. And some are saying he has mental health. Social media has been talking about this very, very, very big time. You know what I mean? And they say, you can't be real. What kind of person are you when you do things like that? What is going on in your head? What is the motive? There's no motive to do something like that. This is gruesome. This is disgusting. This, as I say, you can't comprehend it. When you see things like this, you just have to think people, they're born evil. They're born evil. They're born with an evil spirit in them. I recall I talked to a well-known gentleman on one of our interviews, and he made that point to me some time ago. We had an interview. He says you got certain people who are just born evil, and you cannot change them, and they will never ever change when they're born evil and born disgusting like that. And I say, why you want to do something like that? Children, and we see this so many times. And you know, guys, how I feel about children. You know how it cheeses me off. The word I want to say, I'm not going to say it. You know how it cheeses me off. So let me say cheese. You know how it cheeses me off when people do this sort of thing to children, which is absolutely disgusting. And as I say, people are now talking about, talking about sort of bringing back the death penalty and all that sort of stuff. I myself haven't locked into that myself, that conversation, which I don't. I stay neutral and I stay grounded in that context. If I was to say what I actually think about it, maybe some people would say, oh, well, to be honest, I'm going to say, well, let me just say that. To be honest, I don't really believe in the death penalty, but I was born that way. Yes. Now people are going to say to me, what happened if it happened to one of your family? I don't know. What happened if it happened to one of your kids? I don't know. What I do believe, and I will always believe this, nobody has the right to take another human being life. So this is why I say about the death penalty. You know what I mean? And I say I could sort of get crucified and all that sort of stuff. But that's where I stand on the death penalty. But as I say, I've had this conversation many, many times, and people say to me, "Oh, Carl, what is happened to your family, your friend, or something like that?" But as I said before, my main objection to that is nobody has the right to take somebody else's life. And we say big condolence to the family. I saw a photograph of the mother, the lady's mother, and she's actually, in pain, in grief. You can't comprehend what has actually happened here. You know what I mean? And we hope this is a black spot in Jamaican history. It's not a thing. It's a black spot. We say with things like this happening on the road, but you can't do that. You're not a war with each other. Why do you people do this kind of thing? Why it makes you do things like this? It's just evil and disgusting. And as I say, I hope if they catch the right person, you know what I mean, he will get his justice. Yeah. Thank you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. My next story is also, I'm staying with Jamaica, because two popular mechanic was shot. One has died. And it happens alongside Lincoln Avenue in Kingston. And this happens on Saturday. The deceased is 47-year-old Herbert of Morgan Lane in Kingston. Now, this is also another tragic story. The other man has been injured and went to hospital, and so, you know what I mean, he's been still looked after, you know what I mean, so that's the bad. The other thing as well, another Sunday this happens, another young lady, this is a 17-year-old young lady, Denham Town, Jamaica, Kingston. She was shot. Now, she was shot by, some say she probably was shot by her boyfriend or whatever. However, nobody is sure how that has happened yet. You know what I mean? And this is a 17-year-old student. I mean, she has a child. You know what I mean? So she's up there. So I think she's probably, because of her boyfriend and her boyfriend sort of, whatever happens, you know what I mean, But we haven't got any confirmation of that, you know what I mean? So we can't really say exactly what is happening. But we see this more tragedy again, you know what I mean? And I'm still staying with Jamaica because now I go abroad, still staying in Jamaica. Just before I go to the story that comes in up on my stream, still staying abroad in New York. Now, 3 Jamaicans has been found murdered in New York. And a lady, seems to be crime everywhere, isn't it? A lady her hands was tied, bound, and they found her in the bed. And they say 2 others has actually died in another tragic incident that is actually happening there. Yeah. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the program. Now, moving on. A compound, yes. Maroon has filed a lawsuit in Jamaica Supreme Court against the government of Jamaica and the Jamaican National Heritage Trust, which is JNHT. And Chief Don Curry has disclosed this. Don't know what is going on there either. I hope there's not going to be a separation of the country. Yeah. And even though I know the Prime Minister is not very popular at the moment of Jamaica, but we don't really want to see the separation of Jamaica. You know what I mean? And I know the Maroons have very, very big issue with the Jamaican government. You know what I mean? And I say I don't sort of, sometimes I don't really sort of understand all of it, so I can't sort of really go into it really deep. But I say we can't see the separation of what is going on in Jamaica. I don't know why this sort of thing is happening in a country now. What are they going to do? We're going to have a separating. Are we going to divide? Are we going to divide a country which was, when I was growing up school out there, it was 144 square miles. It's probably a bit bigger now. You know, but that's what I was called in school out there. It was 144 square miles. It's bigger now since the days I went to school. So what is happening in Jamaica? Is there going to be a showdown between the Jamaican government and the Maroons, or the Maroon people? And I've been told many, many times, and this is what I've been told, and some of you may not, you may disagree with me, and some of you have been told, when you are left, the term maroon comes in, when you are left on an island, you become marooned. Yes. There's been people marooned all over the world. Now, some of you may disagree with me, but check it out for yourself. When, as I say, you be left on an island, you'll be marooned. All Jamaicans are marooned on that island, not just one section. Wherever you are on an island, you are marooned. So, as I say, it doesn't matter where you are. That's how that is, you know what I mean? And I say, I hope no serious issues, no serious problems going to come up in the near future about this sort of thing, you know what I mean? And I say, no disrespect to anyone, or no disrespect to the Maroons. I mean, I've been to the Maroon town, you know, many, many times when I was growing in Jamaica. So I know parts of it very, very well. So it's not a problem for me. It's just we don't really want to see Jamaicans fighting. Jamaica's got enough problems. So we don't want to see the country fighting with each other or doing kind of crazy things or separate and all the rest of it, you know what I mean? So we don't really want to see that. And I hope the Maroon leader, the chief, and the Jamaican government, well, it will be this government or the next government, because this may not even settle with this government. But whether it's with this government or the next government, we hope some peace can come to it, you know, man. Some working together will come together in the future of, you know what I mean, of saying the country being separated, because I think probably that's what some people probably want, you know what I mean, and it says because the Prime Minister or the government is, you know what I mean, not very popular at the moment. Some people will say yes, do this, but you don't want it to separate. We don't want that. We want to stay together. We want to stay together. And the other thing, yes, now this jump into my head. Let's go down the separation route then. If you become separated from Jamaica, which if the Maroons get separated from Jamaica, you're gonna have to have your own passport, aren't you? Yeah, You're going to have to have your own money. Yes. You're going to have to have your own airports. Because you won't be a citizen of Jamaica anymore. And I've heard a Jamaican interview asking the chief if he is a citizen of Jamaica. And he actually hesitated. And he turned it around. It's out there. There's nothing as well. If Jamaica is separated or the maroon is separated from Jamaica, you're going to have your own hospitals and your own school. And you're going to have to get your own funding from somewhere else because you can't get it from the Jamaican government. Yes? Does that make any sense to you? Or am I talking off the top of my head? It's just common sense, though, isn't it? If you want to separate, that's going to happen. And I don't know how that is. I don't know how that is going to work. And it's. I think it's a game. They're playing games. Yes. And I don't know what sort of game this is. But guys, we need to come together and sort the thing out. Because for the good of both sides and for the good of your own country, you know what I mean? Keep it together. And all this sort of thing that's going on. It's not good. It's not healthy. And as I say, Jamaica's got enough problems as it is. You know what I mean? And I don't think this is going to make it any better. Yeah? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the program. Yeah? Now let me move on. Move on to sports. Now Chelsea has reportedly confident of closing a deal for Raheem Sterling from Man City. As you know, Raheem Sterling is a great player, does very, very well for England. So as I said, sources said Chelsea is almost close to signing Raheem Sterling for, I guess, 35 million allegedly for the 27-year-old. That is good. And if he can get that, fantastic. I got no problem with that. I got no problem with people with money. I may laugh, but I've got no problem with people with money. And if you can get that sort of money, it's great. Because you see, I don't relate to envy. And I don't relate to jealousy. And I'm talking about myself now. Don't realize it. Don't relate to it. Don't understand it. Listen, because you know what I believe? I strictly believe each of us come here and each of us got our own destiny. Yes. So the jealousy, the envious, the greed, the bad mind, the dirtiness, some people go on with, go away, don't need it, don't relate to me. I don't live like, as I say, I am only passing through. So I come and I do what I have to do. My destiny and your destiny is two different destinies. So all you people who got there jealous of this and jealous of that and jealous, run your own destiny and leave it alone. Still sticking. Still sticking with sports. Now, a rugby player plays for England, Burrell. He claims racism is ripe in the rugby environment. Yes. The Centre for England player, in an interview with the Daily Mail, he says clubs that he actually played for, which is Nottingham, Newcastle, Warrington. Sometimes he says he goes to the changing room, or the dressing room, as some people call it, and they call it a banter, but I don't think this is a banter. So, he says racial, that you get racial slur. Some people call it racial slur. I don't call it racial slur, I call it something else. And I say he's a rugby football player. Yes. And as I say, he says sometimes when he goes to the dressing room, there's comment like banana, fried chicken. I love my fried chicken, by the way. Not really. I don't like it fried. I like it to go in the oven. I like it jerk. Check out so check out the jerk ones, yes? Well, absolutely marvelous. And as I say, back to the point. He says, and they talk about slavery as well. And as I say, he gets called all kind of names and all kind of comments, you know what I mean, about that sort of thing. Now, the England Rugby League Union has actually apologized to him and say they're sorry he has to go through this sort of behavior. So, this is not a made-up thing, or this is not a game. And they're actually looking into it, you know what I mean? As I said, they've apologized to him. But you know what? In times like this again, we see the same thing again. 2022, it's the racist thing again. I was going to say racist something, but I can't say that. It's the racist thing again. You're up against the time, you know what I mean? Now the guy who played for his country, you know, do fantastic well. And when he goes into his own club, at his own different places where he plays, you know what I mean, in the changing room, he's getting all kind of racist abuse. Yeah. Where's it going? And let's say the rugby associations need to stamp out on this. You know, to stamp out on racism. We know racism is something that, but we need to stamp out on it more. And I've said this many, many times. You know what I mean? I've said it many times. We need to actually stamp out this and throw it out and ban it. But I've always said, you know, I always said many, many times ago, for, say, even football matches. I said in football matches, so you go to a football ground, and this, I'm just talking about football ground now. So you go to a football ground, and you see somebody, I know a lot of football club is stamping down on it now, I know that. But if you see a crowd in a football club, and they're chanting racist, or they're racially abusing somebody, I always say the best solution for that is take points off the club. Whatever game it is, take points off the club. Yeah? If England goes somewhere abroad and play, and their player comes under racist abuse, take points off the club where they're playing from, or the club that they're playing with. Yeah? And we'll see how quick they'll stamp that out. They know who the racist people are. It's not like they don't know, but they don't know enough about it. They know who are racist, and they don't know enough about it. Not enough. And let's say, in a time like now, we need to, you know what I mean, stamp it out. Is it that they don't care? Or they didn't care? Really? As I say, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the program. Now let me move on. Right. Talking about entertainment and sports here. Entertainment. Let me go to entertainment. Now, Kendrick Lamar appeared at the Glastonbury Festival, and he came on in a blood-soaked outfit. It was false blood, of course. And he came on because he was actually having a protest about the abortion ruling, what you call the Roe and Wade decision of women's rights about abortion. So, as I say, he came in a blood stain, and he attacked the people about that sort of stuff. And he says, say, it is a very, very serious thing that is actually going on, because the abortion rights law. I'm going to talk about another somebody who's actually comes into that. And they say it's Roe versus Wade. Yeah. And as I say, it's one of them ones. And now people are talking about, well, if you can change this law, you're going to change that law as well. If you can change this one, you're going to change this one. People are still talking about changing the law about gay people. You know what I mean? So, we see how this change is going to come on in the United States. And have they opened a can of worms? Yeah, I don't know. But it's one of them ones, you know what I mean? And they say a lot of people has been very, very upset about that ruling, about the revoking the law and abortion, you know what I mean? And I say, I'm gonna have a little chat a little bit more later on about that. Now, still sticking with entertainment. Beyonce announced to drop a new album, which is the 21st of July. It's a 19-track album. So a lot of people will be probably excited about it because she hasn't got any music for a while. Mind you, there's a couple of tunes that are floating around now, and I've come across one which is like which is one out there. What is out there now? In fact, there's two out there now, but the one I came across is like, it's like got a housey sound in it. So she sort of change her genres of music because it's like a housey beat and all the rest of it. And in fact, I gotta say, I do quite like it. It's one of them that you bounce around to, you know what I mean? Wonderful Beyonce. And doesn't she look wonderful still these days, you know what I mean? I don't even know how old she is now, but she's doing very, very, thank you, Mr. Producer. she's very, very, very well. Don't get excited, Mr. Producer, thank you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the program. Now, my next one is Mary J. Blige. Mary J. Blige has announced her North American tour to support her Good Morning Gorgeous album. And it's Mary J. Blige, as you know, is a wonderful artist, and it's good to see she's actually comes back and doing great because I think she had some time that was actually wasn't very sort of nice, you know what I mean? And it's good to see that she's actually rolling with the best of them, you know what I mean, which is absolutely marvelous. And it's actually good to see she's doing such well. And that album has, that album has sort of, a lot of people are tuning into that new album, the Good Morning Gorgeous album, a lot of people say it's got really very good critical acclaim the album has had, you know what I mean? So we say, big shout out to you, Mary J. Blige. And I said she's barely touring the north of the United States. So she's going to go up. So she may even go right up to Canada. Yeah. Which is marvelous. Big shout out to you guys over there in Canada. How you doing? Big shout out to you. I want to say big shout out to my good friend in the United States. How you doing? Girline, how you doing? Let me give you a big shout because I know you always tune into the program. Hector, how you doing? I know so you always tune into the program. Also, Jennifer, how you doing? Miss G and me. Big shout out to you. Hope all is well with you. Let me say thank you for tuning into the break. Jamaica, you know I'm not leaving you out. How can I leave you out? You know what I mean? Even though I talk so much about you, it's only what I want to see things get better. Yeah. We want to see things get better. Not knocking you, we just want to see things get better, you know what I mean? And the government do something about the crime about all those people out there who sort of doing that sort of naughty things out there. I mean, so big shout out to all you guys at home in Birmingham. Let me say big shout out to you. And before I move on, I want to say don't forget to tune into our program next week because I actually got a wonderful guest coming on. Miss Conita Taylor, and she's going to talk about health and well-being. So that guest is already there and waiting to come. But we got more guests coming up. So as I say, keep tuning to the program. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the program. Now, this is, like I go on about different stories. Let me put my glasses on that because like this one is an uplifting one. And I do like this one. Yes. And I've gone back to Jamaica. Yes, right. A visually impaired Jamaican celebrated putting his children through college. Herbert vision a good life for his children. Yes. He's visually impaired. In fact, he's blind. But that has never stopped him. And you can see the lovely family there. That has never stopped him. And what he has said, he has encouraged other fathers and mothers, despite the challenges and the things that you go through, keep pushing ahead and keep pushing forward. Yeah. He actually is a 55-year-old from Harborview. And he actually blind from he was the age of 14. And he is a successful chef, which is absolutely marvelous. And I got to give him the clap, you know what I mean? I got to give him the clap because we always do this when we see people doing so good. And let me give him the clap. Big shout out to you. Fantastic. Love those stories, you know what I mean? So we don't always concentrate on the negative, you see. We love when we get these stories like that, with people doing so very, very good. And they say this man has been blind for he was the age of 14. And it has never stopped him from doing what he has to do and looking after his children and putting his children to college, and his children doing very, very well. Yes. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the program. Now, my little rant. Now, Congresswoman, former Congresswoman, Mary Miller, speak on Saturday about the abortion rights. And she said the abortion rights is a victory for, her very own words, white life. Really? A victory for white life? Really? Can you believe somebody says such a thing? And Donald Trump was there as well, because Donald Trump has been pushing for this for years, and she's a big supporter of Donald Trump. You know what I mean? And she's come out with things like that. Now, a spokesman for her has said it was a mistake. Let me put it in this term. It was a mistake. She says she meant to say right to live. Now, have a listen to this difference between white life and right to live. How can you make a mistake like that? Yes? How can you make a mistake like that? So, I think she was just probably messing around, and she know exactly what she was doing. So I don't think she actually made a mistake. You know what I mean? And they have their own agenda when you see sort of things like this. You know, you don't know what they're doing, and so they have their own agenda when they come out with this. You know what I mean? And they're probably satisfied their own sort of far right organizations, what we call the far right organization. You know what I mean? Or the sort of far right, headstrong Republicans who sort of into all this sort of stuff. But as I say, what about the African American women? Yes, because the women are the ones who have abortion. What about the African American women? What about all those people of color in the United States? You know what I mean? White life? So, I don't know. It's just, as I say, they have their own agenda. Now, let me move on. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Massive shooting. Gruesome. Mass murder. It is mass murder. Now, we think of just mass murder in the United States. 4 children killed. Murder. Cocoa Peace in Clarendon. 15-year-old, 10-year-old, 5-year-old, 23 months. Slash. Oh, dear me. Slash in the throat. And as I said to you before, what kind of evil this is going on? This is actually disgusting. And Miss Wright and her 4 children, which is mass murder. There's no other way, no other saying, no other way to put it. And as I say, before when I was chatting about the story earlier, a lot of people on social media are very angry about this. And they're saying big things about this, you know what I mean? And as I said to you before earlier on, I don't know if the death penalty is going to solve things like this, but it may work as a deterrent, you know. And as I say, I'll tell you, I actually explained to you how I actually felt about the death penalty. And as I say, we need to see these sort of things wrapping up, you know what I mean? We don't want to see. And this is not an outsider that's doing this. This is the same person. You're from the same country. You're not an outsider. You're from the same country. You know what I mean? And I don't really understand why this sort of thing is happening. Okay, talked to a lady a couple of weeks ago. She said to me, maybe people who do these things are mentally ill. Well, if people who do these things who are mentally ill, I think they should be, they should be aware of them, long time before they actually sort of commit all this sort of crime. I mean, that is easier for me to say sitting down here. What they should be aware of before they actually committing this kind of crime. How you kill how can you kill a 22 months old baby? What did the baby do to you? What was your motive? What is going on in your head? How long did it take to sort of plan this? Was it just a straight off thing or what? Why would you do this? You know what I mean? And I said the person of interest, I think one person of interest is going to be arrested and charged. A lot of social media people are saying, oh, what we should do with him and what we shan't do with him and what we shan't do with him. Well, I'm not going to say what they should do with him because that is not for me to say. That is for the courts to decide. And I don't believe in judgment because I'm not the person who deals with. I do believe in judgment, but I'm not the person to say what should happen to them. I don't go down that line. You know what I mean? It's not for me. I stay out of that sort of thing. All I can say is disgusting. I don't like it. It shouldn't be happening. And I say, Jamaica needs to sort of stamp out this sort of behavior. I got to say, the government has actually say how gruesome this was. This is mass murder. How gruesome it is and how terrible it is, and it shouldn't have happened. So I do applaud the government for actually come out and making a stand in this. You know what I mean? And they say, it's bring more awareness again. I was saying about the death penalty. Don't know if they're gonna go down this line or going on, but then again, I was wondering, the death penalty. If you bring the death penalty in, has the Queen of England got to have something to do with it? I think so, you know. I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. I think if you're gonna bring the death penalty in, the Queen of England, because Jamaica is still in the Commonwealth, so I think you actually, gonna have to have something to do with the death penalty. Let me ask you then, guys. Leave a message. Leave your comments. It'll be good to hear your feedback on this. Yes, just leave a message and leave a comment, and we'll see what you have to say about it. This is very important, and I see a lot of people have been getting involved in this. So please leave your comment and we'll see what you have to say or what your feedback on this. You know what I mean? And let us know what you have to say about this, because this is such a gruesome, disgusting crime. You know what I mean? Disgusting, and children as well. Children involved. You know what I mean? And they say, I don't know what comprehend people to do this. You can't say it's because you're poor. Rubbish. You know what I mean? Lack of education. I'm not gonna go by that one either. You know what I mean? It's just pure evil, isn't it? It's just gotta be pure evil. Disgusting. Pure evil. And hopefully, this person who commit this kind of crime will find justice, and they don't say because he was this or because they don't have any sort of silly excuse to sort of give him to sort of, you know what I mean, let him escape justice. That's what I'm trying to say, yeah? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the program. Now, I actually need to sort of move on to my next story. Now, my next story is actually, I quite like this one. Now I'm coming back to London. Yes. London. Now, a pensioner was taken to court by Westminster Council. And him and his mates for 12 years been gathering in a marketplace. I think it's Media Hall Marketplace in London. And they've been playing their dominoes. Yes. Loving their dominoes. Yes. Now, the council has decided to take him to court and threaten to jail him because they're playing domino too loud. Anyway, this has been going on for quite some time, because I think I talked about this when it actually started. And Ernest have actually won his case. And based on the racial equality rights, he's won his case on, you know what I mean? And it is said his racial equal rights were ignored. So he's actually won his case. But that is what I call key domino. Now, the other thing about it is, now you see what happens here. Now, domino, which a lot of you guys will know, you people from the Caribbean and the West Indies and all that sort of stuff. Domino, not that I'm very good at it. Domino, but I do know something about it. Domino is where all the brothers, you know what I mean, and the friends and everybody can get together and have a nice game. Now, and what it is as well, it's like social communication. And even these older gentlemen who actually plays this game and these younger gentlemen, it is a social occasion. So you all get together and have a good domino game, but you can't be talking when them playing, you know. you have to talk when them shuffle. So it's a good social game for these guys. The other thing as well, it allows you to have different conversation. It allows you to have different commentary. It allows you to play things like, you know what I mean. It's also bring different people from the Caribbean together. You could be from Barbados, Jamaica, St. Kitts and Nevis, and all those sort of different islands. So you come together and you have a good domino game. So the fact that this man was threatened with jail. This guy is what? He's 74. Yeah. You take a 74-year-old man to court because you think he's playing his domino too loud. They've been doing this for 12 years. So it's not new. And it was also a good time for them to be socializing, probably pre-COVID or just after COVID. You know what I mean? So I'm a big shout out to you, Ernest. You stand your ground. As I say, it is what you call key domino. I gotta tell you this, man. I got a very good friend. How you doing, sir? You know who you are. I got a very good friend. Sometimes if we go socializing before the coronavirus came on, you know what I mean? I don't do it now. Before the coronavirus came on, we used to go out and sometimes we used to say, see these guys playing domino. They say, Carl, you want to play? I said, no, man. We don't want to play. You know who he is. I know how to play. But he always plays, and I always have to stay there and watch them, you know what I mean, and things like that. But I can play, you know what I mean, but I'm not a regular player. But I do like the game, and I think it's absolutely marvelous, yeah. So, big shout out to you again, sir. Once you've restored some confidence for the elderly. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the program. Now, let me move on. I want to say a big shout out to you. Chelsea, how you doing? Good afternoon. I hope all is well. Let me say thank you for tuning in. I know you always tune into the program as well. Donna, how you doing? The Nelson family, how you doing? Big shout out to you. Also, big shout out to you and your family. Let me say once again, thank you for tuning in to the program. Now, Snake. Now, Snake is one of those things that's, you know, as I said to you before, there's a couple of animals I don't want to come across. I don't want to come across a snake. I don't want to come across a crocodile. I don't want to come across a lion. I don't want to come across a tiger. And even sometimes, now you gotta load this. Even sometimes, I don't want to come across some human beings. Because human beings, this is said, are animals. So even sometimes I don't want to come across some human beings. I do like that one, yes. Now, back to my story about this stingy bobby here now. I know this I can do this is because this is what I do. Now, a postal worker in Bangkok. Now, he actually found a snake that was actually in a parcel. And it was moving around. And when he found it, it was a king cobra snake. A cobra. Cobra, yes. As in Cobra the artist. So I remember that cobra. It was a king cobra. Now, the package mark on it, do not expose to sunlight. Now, I wonder, cobra, yes. I wonder, snake cobra. Remember the snake cobra? I wonder how they get this into the package. How would you do that? Would you tranquilize it? You put the snake in a parcel. Would you tranquilize it? How would you get it into a package? You don't know, do you? It's hard to comprehend. It's hard to comprehend And it's one of the ones. It's one of the ones which I don't understand. Now, there are certain things that people do. I've listened where I'm going with this. There's certain things that people do, right? This is terrifying. But here, this is not moving away from the point. But let me say again what we're going to do. Certain things, like, oops, let me get this clear. Certain things that people do, right? Now, I recall some time ago, I was watching the comedian from Birmingham, Dudley, Lenny Henry, talking about people doing strange things. You know what I mean? This is going back to the Cobra, right? I remember Lenny Henry was actually talking about strange things that people do. And over the years, Lenny Henry has come up against a lot of racism. Now, and I watched him, he was telling this joke. And he says, somebody where he lived, they actually send him a poo. Not funny. They actually send him shit. Let's put it that way then. And it was splattered all over his door. Yes. Now, and he was getting at the point. He says, now this is back to the snake now. This was back. He says, how did they get this on the door? How did they get all this poo on the door? Did they do it in the hand? Yeah. Did they do it in the bowl and rub it on the door? Or did they just put the backside up on the door and poo on the door? So, did they do that? And he couldn't understand how they would get the poo on the door. Now, what you going to say, Carl? What's poo's got to do with the snake? Now, the point I'm trying to get at is that the fact that how did these people get this snake into this bag? You know what I mean? And it was still alive. And the other thing as well, you know, this is serious now. Let's get to the serious thing. Can you imagine if a postal worker, or it has come to your house, or wherever it was sent, a postal worker has taken it out, it could have caused you serious damage. It would not be very nice, is it? It would have caused you a lot of serious damage. And as I say, I don't know why people do this sort of thing. So be careful next time you open your parcel. You never know what's going to be in it. We hope it is not a snake. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the program. Now, my next sort of rant is like, let me talk about, we've had a wonderful celebration, the Windrush Generation. And we was at a wonderful place actually celebrating the Windrush Generation. Yeah. Absolutely fantastic. Had a great time, I must say. It was absolutely marvelous. Now, we've seen the memorial of the Windrush Generation statue, which is in respect of the Windrush Generation. Now, the statue, a lot of people say, oh, it's fantastic. Oh, it's brilliant. I heard one lady, she's just going on and on. She was like a top lady. And she was, oh, yes, fantastic. It's beautiful. Oh. You know, one of them's like, now, I got to say, this is what I want to say about the Windrush Memorial Statue. Now, a lot of those people came here to build Britain and to better themselves off. Now, when I sort of look at the Windrush statue, I'm thinking, what is actually going on here? Because I don't understand it. Oh, Carl, you don't understand it. What is it to understand? It's a memorial. Yeah, but this is a memorial for generations to come. Not for my generation or the generation before me. It is a memorial for generations to come. So it is good for the young people to understand what it is all about. Yes? Now, I got to say, I wasn't a Windrush baby. My parents came to England just after, say, the Windrush time. Yes? They didn't come as Windrush people, but they came after the Windrush. So they would have been my mother, who lived a very, very long time, no longer with us. Big shout out to you, Mama Lee, wherever you are. they would have been Windrush children. Now, the thing about I understand about this statue is the fact that when you look at the statue, one is they're looking in three different directions. You have a young girl who's looking like sort of that way. You have the lady who's looking sort of that way, and the man who's looking over that way. And it's a bit like they don't know where they are. Now, why would you do that? Why don't you just put them like sort of together? Put the lady by the side of the man and put the child just in front of the man. Yes. So that is the issue I have with the Windrush statue, memorial. The other thing is, they're standing on the suitcase. Why would you be standing on your suitcase? Why don't you just put the suitcase in the hand? I mean, it costs quite a lot of money for that when it's memorial. Why don't you just put their suitcase in your hand? Because it looks like they're standing on pool. You know what I mean? And the color that they've done them in, it looks like pink. It looks like pink pool. I gotta say that. You know what I mean? So, I think it could have been better. Yes. And I think you say what happens is when you're in, right? What happens when you're in? You can do anything, you know, and people say, "Oh, you like this?" And you say, "Yes, fantastic." And nobody says anything about it. Everybody goes, "Fantastic, blah 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 blah." But I myself, I don't think that is a very good representation of our Windrush generation. And I've had quite a few people talking to me about this. And they said, "Carl, have you seen it? Have you seen it? Have you seen the Windrush Memorial?" And I said, "No, I haven't seen it." And they said, "You should look at it and tell me what you think." Now, I've looked at it, and this is what I think. You know what I mean? And I said, I don't know why they're standing on their suitcase. Because the Windrush generation wouldn't stand on their suitcase anyway. You know what I mean? And I say, it's one of those ones, you know what I mean, that's a little bit, sort of, I got to say, a little bit disappointing. And I'm not knocking the artists, but it's just a reality of things, you know what I mean? And I don't want to knock anybody, because I'm sure the sculptor who done it is very, very talented. I couldn't do that myself. So let me just get that straight. That's nothing I could do. So, as I say, it's one of those ones that is a little bit disappointing, considering all the things those Windrush generation has been through. And is it because we don't see many statues of people of British Caribbean heritage in this country? So when you see a statue or a memorial go up to a British African Caribbean heritage person, you say, "Wow, I'm excited." Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. My time is coming to an end. Let me say thank you for tuning in. Have a great week. Look after yourself. Don't forget, you can catch me back here again next week with my very, very special guest, Conita Taylor, Health and Wellbeing. Have a great night. Good afternoon. Thank you.
Professionally, please contact Breakthrough Event Management Team and get everything under one roof for both indoor and outdoor occasions, birthday parties, bridal and baby showers, anniversaries, funerals, backyard BBQs and more. We offer a video and photography service, marquees, decoration and a PA system to hire, with popular new style radio DJs spinning old and new school hits. Please contact 07584 197 380 and book all your catering needs with Reggae Jam Jam Catering Service on 0787 244 3765. And remember, do it good and done.
What's on Your Mind is sponsored by ACMC 339.0, New Style Radio 98.7 FM, Breakthrough Studios, and Reggae Jam Jam.
Planning an event? Do it professionally. Please contact Breakthrough Event Management Team and get everything under one roof for both indoor and outdoor occasions, birthday parties, bridal and baby showers, anniversaries, funerals, backyard BBQs and more. We offer a video and photography service, marquees, decoration and a PA system to hire, with popular New Style Radio DJs spinning old and new school hits. Please contact 07584 197 380 and book all your catering needs with Reggae Jam Jam catering service on 0787
244 3765.
And remember, do it good and done.